Hi everyone, Dr. David here, and welcome to this video. I'm with my friend Jennifer Batalis. Thanks, Jennifer, for being with me. And we're here to talk to you today about the I Love You and I Love You song and how powerful saying I love you can be as a testimonial and a case study to your own power of healing through saying I love you. And so I'm here making this video because there's such a deep, deep teaching in saying I love you, and there's a special bond between me and Jennifer through this process. And the bond is that we have with her dad. Go ahead and show. This is a testimonial for her father, James, who recently passed away a couple of months ago. He was a patient of mine, and how we met each other was that in late January, I got a call from Jennifer. She was looking for some help for her father, who was having difficulty pain in his tailbone area for several years, and also was suffering from stage 4 prostate cancer. And so she was looking at trying to get him off of pain medications and trying to help him to just be comfortable during this time. And so I saw her and said, yes, I definitely can help. And I also do X, Y, and Z, spiritual healing, and I think that all of these things might be beneficial for your dad. Let's see what we can do. Come on in, because I'm leaving tomorrow. And so I saw them, and we had an amazing experience. The first thing, as soon as her dad walks into our place, is that, oh my God, I know you. You're the acupuncturist from Hippocrates Health Institute. And right away, we had this connection. Yes, me and her father went to Hippocrates Health Institute together. We were both on a life transformational program together. And we had an opportunity to do detoxing and cleansing together. And bringing this back towards us, fast forward a year or so later, she's looking to find somebody to help her dad, and it ends up being me. So that right away was the perfect segue, because it gave him the opportunity to relax, that he actually had a connection with me and was open to utilizing acupuncture for healing of his back pain. Now, when I got into and talking to him, I felt deeper that there was a lot more things going on underneath the surface. A lot more emotional and spiritual pain and suffering that was going on, that was probably leading towards a lot of the physical pain that he was suffering. And so I said to him, James, when was the last time you said, I love you to yourself? And he looked at me and he said, never. And my heart was hurting for him to say never. And I said, you know that most pain and suffering we have comes from a lack of saying and feeling I love you in our life and bringing this healing in. I said, you know, we're going to do this right now. I want to see what we can do to help open our hearts so that we can bring that love and that light inside of us and start that healing process before we start your acupuncture treatment. Are you up for this? And I said, we're going to record it so that you'll have it and you can listen to it. And so he was very open. He was open to trying. And we all got there, and we started, and we did the I Love You song, which is basically just saying, I love you so many times that one time your heart hears it, it drinks deeply. And so basically you're bathing yourself in saying it in such a repetition that your heart starts to move and it starts to release toxic things it's holding on to, so that the love can come in. And so from that very first experience we had such a deep connection with each other. It was such a profound experience at the end of saying it, that the room was palpable. You could feel the I love you just in the room from all three of us saying it to each other.
That's beautiful.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And the power in that was that I templated all of our hearts to receive and open like a vessel. And then I give you my spirit with you on a recording so that you can hear it and use it and go deeper with it every day. And the thing was that I wasn't there to see them a couple days later. I didn't see them for 2 weeks. But I know that they did it because of the power and what I saw in James the next visit when he came to see me the next time after 2 weeks. He was a changed man. His face was totally different. He was in love with receiving love. And miraculously, excuse me, he had a miraculous healing from his pain. Basically, he didn't have any more tailbone pain after that treatment. And from that point on, it was just transition and helping him to heal. And we had such a profound healing on our second visit that his brothers were here. And these are guys in their 75 and 80 years old, and they had never said I love you to each other the way that we were doing it in the room. And so I brought the two brothers in, and we recorded again another session of I Love You with James on the treatment table, receiving his needles, and me and Jennifer and the two brothers there singing I Love You. It was such a profound experience. Again, setting another seed, templating all of our hearts to receive and give and away. And then they went home. And unfortunately, James started to decline a little bit in his physical body, but his spiritual heart was flying. And I'll let Jennifer tell you a little bit about the experience, what it was like being here with me, listening to the I Love You, the two different recordings on what it was like, the transformation for her father, realizing that his physical body was starting to go through a transformation, but his spiritual heart was wide open. And his ability to connect with people was just on such a level of depth that he had not had in his whole life from this very first experience with us and doing the I Love You exercise every single day, multiple times through the day. I'll give you a few minutes to just give a little brief, testimonial of what it was like, to go through this, to witness this, to be there processing together with your dad.
To receive with him really is what it was. I received with my dad. So we came for our first session, and my dad just surrendered and said, okay, I'll do this. And we sang the I Love You song, and it was so profound and moving for all of us from that moment on. And you just saw a difference in his face immediately. After we left here, I mean, he was still feeling pain, but it was lighter. And on the way home, he was just so moved by it. My sister called, and she was in the middle of a conversation, and he said, "I love you" to her, and she was kind of taken back. Although we are a very lovable family, we always say love you, but this was a different expression. The way he said I love you, she recognized it and said, "I love you too, Dad." And then he asked for his son-in-law, and he was like, "Is Eric there?" And she's like, "No, he's not here." And he's like, "Well, tell Eric I love him." I mean, love was flowing through him. It was beautiful. And although he was in pain, it wasn't taking over him. So we went home, and in the evening we did our I Love You song, and in the morning we did our I Love You song, and if we were in the car together, we did our I Love You song. And just whether it was for healing or not, it was a bond that we experienced, that we were in love with, and I was hanging on to it because I knew my dad was most likely transitioning. So then a couple days later, he was not happy with me because I didn't want him taking the pain medication. And here we were having him say, "I love you" instead. And he was not happy, and because he was hanging on to those painkillers, because they at least alleviated it a little bit. Mm-hmm. And 2 days later, he no longer needed them. He was no longer asking for them. He did not feel any pain, still uncomfortable, as he was still dealing with stage 4 cancer, but the pain was no longer there. And it was more than what we could ask for. To have my dad in peace, with an open heart, and receiving whatever was flowing through him was so heartfelt. And we continue to experience it as a family when his brothers came, and even 2 months later, as he was transitioning, the day before he died, the whole family was there with him, and we had an I love you session with him. And to see the smile in his face, he was no longer able to speak. He expressed himself through his eyes, and to have his whole family surround him and do the I love you song with him, it was a gift for all of us. And then when he transitioned, the peace that was with him, we did not need any of the medication that hospice felt that we would need in the home to help him have a peaceful transition, because we had our I love you session hours before he transitioned, and he took his last breath in peace with his whole family surrounding him. And it was beautiful. It was more than I could ever ask for.
I'm so happy to be
yes.
a part of this for you.
Yeah, and I continue to have my I love you sessions with my dad. So thank you for that recording.
You're welcome. You are so welcome.
That I will always listen to. So thank you.
You're welcome. Yes. So we're going to share a little bit of the I love you song with you. And so just a little taste so you can understand the power of what it can do for you. So everyone just drink deeply from your hearts as we sing from our hearts to you. I love 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 you, everyone. We'll see you very soon. Peace and love.